Because then she, for like a year she was doing this. She'd call me. And then we'd tell her what to do. We would tell her, okay, well, if you're serious about it, give me a call back in about an hour and we'll figure a bus pass out for you. So then she'd be like, okay. And I wouldn't hear anything from her for like 3 weeks. And then I'd find out everything was, oh, everything's good now. And then in another 2 or 3 weeks, I'd get another phone call. Oh, Angie, I want to come home. And what dawned on me was these were all lapses when her and her husband couldn't get any, drugs. So they would have arguments, and it was all because of drugs. And apparently they resolved it by buying drugs, and everything's okay now. And it's, it's like I couldn't deal with that anymore. So after about a year of her calling me, and because I remember I was playing Rift when this happened, when Rift had came out. So whenever that game came out, that's when I was having those issues with her. I wanted to say 2011, but I could be wrong. But anyway, yeah. So I said, that's enough. Don't call me anymore if you're not serious about coming up here. And then she would call. She's like, okay. And she'd hang up. And then she would call me in another couple of weeks, and I ignored the phone calls. I just ignored them. All the phone calls from somewhere in Texas, I just ignored, on my phone. I couldn't deal with it. I had to step away. And, and this is after I had gone to their wedding. And when I went down to their wedding, okay, first of all, I went down there, got a plane ticket. I hate planes, by the way. I actually don't mind planes. I like the little ones better than the big ones because little ones move around. That's what I like. But anyway, it just, I don't know. It just, how do I want to word this? It was so stressful for me, and it felt good to just say, nope, done. So then I'd say a year and a half, maybe 2013, she calls me again. And this time she's like, CPS got involved and blah, 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 blah. And, I guess things got resolved that first time around. Because I remember talking to the CPS guy. It was a real nice gentleman. And I'm like, yeah, I don't live in state, but I'd be willing to, take the kids if whatever. And he was, because I remember it was on a Sunday, and I remember it was during football season, because I remember watching football, and I remember getting the phone call during football. It wasn't a good season though, because I think it was one of them seasons where we weren't doing so well anyway. But so anyway, I don't know. Anyway, and apparently nothing really bad happened with that first CPS call. But then about a year later, because we were making plans, me and my sister were making plans for her daughter to come spend the summer with us. That 2012 or 2013 summer. I can't remember. One of those two summers. Anyway, and next thing I know, my sister's like, so-and-so called the CPS on us and whatever, and they took the kids away from the home, and, I had to just, I couldn't deal with my sister at that point. Couldn't, because I was going through some of my own things still, and I was going through therapy of my own, and I just couldn't deal with somebody else's baggage at the moment. I had my own baggage I needed to deal with, and it just piled up on me. I started heavily drinking even more back then, and just drank. I just drank a lot back then. It just, escalated to that point where I needed to drink. And I didn't deal with anything with her for a long time. I took myself out of the running for her kids because I knew that if I took her kids, then she would always be around, and I wouldn't want her to be around, you know, all the time.